Hi, we're looking at the split strategy today. So let's go through that and see how that works. And it's mostly a reminder for you because many of you are very good with this already. So let's have a little look at this. So here at level 1, we have the number 46 plus 35. Always really important to be looking to see what we're being asked to do. In this case, we're being asked to add. So let's do 46 plus 35. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at breaking up. So the split strategy, we look at breaking the numbers into their parts. So this consists of 40 and 6. 46 is 40 and 6. 35 is 30 and 5. So if we to add all of those numbers together, that's the answer that we're going to have. Now, how I want you to lay this out is you need to first of all do the breaking up of the number into their parts, into 46 being 40 and 6 and 35 being 30 and 5. Then I want you to put the tens together. So 40 plus 30 equals. So what you've done is you've looked at this number here and this number here, and you've placed them here. 40 plus 30. 40 plus 30 equals 70. Now we're going to look at the units, the 5 and the 6, the 6 and the 5. We're going to put 6 plus 5. I'm going to put that down, and we know that 6 plus 5 is 11. Then I want you now to put these numbers down. I want you to put the 70, this number here, and the 11 down. And I want you to add those two together. So 70 plus 11 is 81. So that's just 7, add to the 1 is 8, and 0 to the 1 is 1. So 81 is your answer for that question there. So the split strategy is just important that you look at that. And you're breaking up. What you're doing is you're breaking up a number, 46 and 35, into smaller parts so that you can add them together. First of all, you're going to add the tens together. Then you're going to add the units together. And once you have the answer for the tens and the units, you then put them down again, add them together to get your answer. Let's have another look at a different one this time. So same again, level 1. This time we've got the number 58 and we've got 35. So let's have a look at how we can break these two numbers up. So 58 is a 50 and an 8. 35 is a 30 plus a 5. Let's concentrate now on these different numbers. So now we're focusing on the 50 and the 30. Let's write them down again. 50 plus 30. When I do 50 plus 30, I go 5, 6, 7, 8. I know that 50 plus 30 is 80. Now I'm going to look at my 8 and my 5. I'm going to put down the 8 and I'm going to put down the 5. I know that 8 and 5 is 13. I want to check that. I can always use little marks, 8 and count on, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Use your piece of paper, write things down all over it. It's fine. Just keep it neat. Make sure that, these kind of marks are away from things, but keep it neat. And now I'm going to focus on my final addition. So I'm looking at the 80 and the 13. I'm going to put 80 and 13 down. And now I'm going to add those together to get my final result, my final sum, my final answer. So 80 plus 13. I know that 8 plus 1 is 9 and 3 plus 0 is 3. So I don't have to do any trading. 3 plus 0 is 3 and 8 plus 1 is 9. I know my answer is 93. So that's level 1. You're just looking at 2-digit numbers. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2-digit numbers. Level 2. Now we're looking at hundreds. So I've got 243. So let's break this number up, 243. I've got 200 and I've got a 40 and I've got a 3. And now I've got a 2-digit number. I've got 57, which is a 50 and a 7. Now, how I want you to write this is that you're now going to focus on the 100 number. So I'm looking at that first. I've got 200, but this number doesn't have 100. So I'm just going to write 200 plus nothing equals 200. Nice, easy. So now I'm going to focus on the tens. 40 plus 50. Let's write that down. 40 plus 50 equals, and I know that 4 and 5 make 9, so I know that the answer is 90. Now I'm going to focus on the units, 3 and 7. I'm going to write that down, 3 and 7. And I know that 3 and 7 are my friends of 10, so that's nice and easy. I'm going to write that down as 10. Now I'm going to write each of these numbers down. So I'm going to put the 200, the 90, and the 10 down. So let's write 200 plus 90 plus 10. I'm going to add those up. So I'm seeing here that I know that 90 plus 10 is 100. I could write it out further. I could write 200 plus 100, because I can see that that is 100, and that is going to equal 300. So at the 2 level, we're working with 3-digit numbers and 2-digit numbers, but there might be a couple of 3-digit plus 3-digit. There's also minus as well, but I'll show everybody in that in a second. So let's go to the 3rd level. So here you're looking at definitely working with 100 numbers, so 3-digit numbers and some 4-digit. So let's have a look at this one. So it's very similar to level 2. You're looking at the number and you're going to break it down. So you know for 547, you've got 500, you've got 40, and you've got a 7. For this number here, 372, you've got a 300, you've got a 70, and you have a 2. So you're breaking it right down to its hundreds, tens, and units. Now, let's focus, first of all, on the hundreds. We're looking at 500 and 300. Let's add those together. So 500 plus 300. 500 plus 300 equals 800. Because I know that 5 plus 3 is 8, and I've got all these zeros here, which keeps it at 800. Now I'm going to focus on the tens. 40 plus 70. Let's write that down. 40 plus 70. Step by step, showing myself, reminding myself what I'm doing, but also showing others what I am doing. I know that 7 plus 4 is 11, because I know that 7 and 3 is a friends of 10. So I know that 7 and 4 is 11. So I'm going to write 110. There's my 11. And I've got putting my 0 back on. So I've got those 2 numbers. Now I'm going to focus on the units. I've got a 7 and a 2. I know that 7 plus 2 is 9. Now I'm going to put these 3 numbers down, 800, 110, and 9 in my final line. So 800 plus 110 plus 9 equals. So I'm looking at that. I know that 9 is sitting by itself, so I'm going to put the 9 first. I know now I've got a 1 for my tens, but here I'm looking at my hundreds and I've got an 8 plus a 1, so I know I've got a 9. So my amount is 919. I know that 800 plus 110 is 910. Plus 9 is 919. So I do have my correct number. And looking at subtraction, let's have a look at subtraction. Here I've got 87. 87 take away 62. So let's have a look how we would lay that out. So that's exactly the same. We're going to break it up. We're going to write 80 and 7. And at 62 is 60 and a 2. So this time we're going to be concentrating on putting a takeaway inside our number sentences. So now I've got 80 take away 60. Now I know that 8 take away 6 is going to give me 2. And I'm going to put the 0 back, so it's 20. So 80 take away 60 is 20. I've also got, now I'm going to the next level, 7 take away 2. And I know 7 take away 2 is 5. Now at this level here, you do have to now, you're going to be adding these two numbers together. So while the first two steps were takeaway, this is now an addition. So I need to go 20 plus 5 equals 25, because I know that 20 plus 5 is 25. So this is really important. It's really important to note that the final line in your subtraction working out has to be an addition, because you've worked out what's 80 take away 60. You know that's 20. You know that 7 take away 2 was 5. But this actually combines to give us our final number. So we need to add it at that stage. Let's have a quick look at another one. I'll just make up one here. So let's have 100 and, oh no, let's make it 300 and, let's try again. Sorry. I'm going to do 356 take away 124. Let's look at these numbers. I've got 300. I've got a 50. I've got a 6. Here I've got a 100. I've got a 20. And I've got a 4. So that is 365. 356. I've got 356 and I've got 124. So now let's focus on the hundreds. Let's focus on these numbers first. So let's do 300 take away 100. So nice and easy. 300 take away 100 is 200. Now I'm going to focus next on the tens. So I'm going to do 50 take away 20 is going to give me 30, because I know that 5 take away 2 is going to give me the 3, and 0 is 0. So now I'm going to look at the units. And I've got 6 take away 4. 6 take away 4 is 2. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to write these three numbers now in an addition sentence. So 200 plus 30 plus 2 is going to give me 232. 232. So that is my answer to this problem here. 356 take away 124 is going to give me 232. So it's really important that you focus on your takeaways for your first part, but when you've got to work out your actual answer, you're going to add these together. So step by step. So that is the subtraction part of the split strategy. So these are the sheets that you're going to get. This is a level 1 sheet. So if this is your choice, it would be very good if you could work through these. They're not hard, especially if you're working at the level 3. You'll whiz through these very quickly. Having a look here with the highlighter pen, so you can see this is level 1, saying level 1. This is an example. It's looking fairly busy, but it's color-coded to give you the step-by-step process, and it's exactly what we've been doing, so there shouldn't be anything too tricky. The most important thing about this particular sheet of paper is that this side, on this column here, this is all addition. So here you can see that these are all a little additions. If I scroll down further, can I scroll down further? I can. You can see this is an addition. However, on the other side, on the right-hand side of the sheet, is subtraction. So please make sure that you can see that that's subtraction, that we've got a little subtraction there, and a subtraction there. So make sure you're aware of the subtraction. And what I've tried to do is to just do that a pale color so you can see that it is subtraction. And again, this sheet here is giving you the layout step by step so you can follow. You've got the little, the tens in there, the units in here, add the units with the tens to get your answer. Sorry, to take away, but you get my meaning. Here we got the tens here, the units here, and then you've got to add your tens and your units together to get the answer. So that is laid out like that. There is only 5 questions on that particular sheet. At the level 2, can I bring up this? Hopefully I can. So the level 2 sheet, very similar in its outlook, its look, but instead of just 2-digit numbers being added together, you're now looking at a 3-digit number and a 2-digit number. So you've got to take note of that. So you've got different levels now. So instead of just having the 2 lines and then the final addition, you've now got 3 lines. So you have to have your 100s in there as well. So you've got the 4 lines. Again, you've got additions. So that's the hundreds, that's the tens, this is the units, and this is it all being added together. And then down at the bottom of the page, you've got 2 subtractions to do. Again, you've got the takeaway of the hundreds, you've got the takeaway of the tens, you've got the takeaway of the units, and then you've got the final addition at the end there. So again, you've only got the 5 to do, so not too tricky. This is the level 3 This is the level 3 split strategy sheet, and again, it's laid out very similarly to the addition and the level 2 one. Here we go. This it's laid out in that the addition are at the top and the subtraction are at the bottom. You've only got 2 subtractions to do. You've got 3 additions to do, and this time round you're looking at numbers that are hundreds and a couple of thousands in there. So I'm just trying to bring up these keys, but they don't want to come. So here we go. So making sure that you're taking note of here. This is an addition, and you've got 3 numbers to deal with. Again, you're looking at these 3 levels, with the 4th one being your adding up all the totals at the end of each of these columns. But you're going to set it out yourself. There's no setting out there. However, we've given you some help in regards to the the takeaway, and you have got the takeaway set out there. So you have got the hundreds level, you have got the tens level, you have got the units level, and then you've got the totals of all your answers for all of those levels. So I think you'll be absolutely fine with that. Good luck. I hope you choose the right level yourself. Challenge yourself as well. Have fun.